Hey, look, we're live. Okay, so number 6 rebuild. In the last video, I don't know, we did something. You guys watch it, I'm sure, and you'll know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna flip the camera around, and I'm gonna give my lovely wife, and I am going to give props to my lovely wife. Again, my shoulder is still out. I still have the strength, and for the people that don't know it, last year I had cancer, and then I got back to work for 2 weeks, and when I got back to work for 2 weeks, I had a 55 barrel drum explode next to me. I'm good. It burned most of my body, but hey, you know what? I'm happy to be here. My arm's getting better, and my therapist says doing stuff like this is good therapy for me. But I'm working on it. So you'll hear me go, "Hey, baby," and it's not because I'm a wimp. It's because my shoulder still hurts, and becoming left-handed as opposed to right-handed, I'm not ambidextrous. So I'm trying here. But I'm gonna give her the camera. And if you notice, these videos were shot, days apart, because at one time I decided to use a hammer, and it was, oh God, man, it was days before I could even get my hand back up to be able to drink something again. But I guess, no pain, no gain, I guess. I don't know, whatever. So hopefully we get to the end of that. But enough about my bullshit help. Well, let's get back to the differential. So let me flip the camera around. Yeah, how you doing here? Hey. All right. So we'll walk in here, and I'm going to show you a couple things, and I'm going to give the camera to my wife so she can see. So here's the pinion, and here's the bearing. It's not on. It's not pressed on yet. There's my spacer. Don't forget your spacer. Remember what I told you about that pinion depth? You make sure you get that spacer in there. And some people even say replace it with a new one, and I don't know, whatever. I think we'll be fine with what we have. This is the old race, and I told you I had my kid cut off the cage, that thing, and then put a big split in it. And why did I have him do this? Is because this gives me something to get down in there and get on the new race, without touching those bearings or destroying that race or that cage. So I can push on this to press down on here without screwing anything up, because you don't want anything on this cage while you're pressing on it. And that's really what it comes down to. You got to make sure that nothing on there, just straight on the race. So let's go ahead and get this pressed in. Here, baby, you want to hold that for a second? And then I'm going to get this set up. I'm going to let you press it in. Alright, so, oh my God. I'm down low like this to make sure I can see what's going on. And when I get it set up in here in the little grooves, cheap ass Harbor Freight press works fine. And then I'm going to put that split right here in the middle. So, actually, I'm going to clock it 90. So it doesn't split between. I don't want it to walk. Now, you'll notice the whole time when I'm pressing this, or when my wife's going to do it, I'm going to keep spinning this. The reason why is because I want to know that we're not going to have a problem with that bearing. She doesn't know how to use this really, but she's getting ready to learn, and this is not that big of a deal. So, oh God, I hope that's tough enough. Pretty easy here. Yeah. All she's got to do is start pumping that thing. Step right in and start pumping it. Just up and down. Up. All right. Now, hold on a second, babe. And you can see she's pressed on a little bit and it's already started to move. I'm going to get down here closer. You got to watch it real close. But it'll start to sit in there. Now, hold on a second, babe. It's moved a little bit. We want to make sure that we have that. The whole time it's being pressed, we want that. All right, go a little bit more. Now see, using that old race is a good thing because the whole time she's pressing on it. All right, now you hear a ping like that, people get scared. Oh my God, what happened? Nothing, keep going, it's fine. The reason I know it's fine, because of that. Should walk it all the way down to the bottom there. Even when she gets this close, I'm still gonna make sure that it spins. Oh, hold on, hold on. It'll be nice and tight there, but we don't get too tight. You can crush that washer in between there. So on, and she like struggled with it. Okay, baby, spin that back. Okay, so my wife, you can see that this is stuck on there. So even though that race is stuck on there a little bit, the old one, this is still moving. Now, all I got to do is take a little hammer, tap that off, it'll pop right off. And again, I still keep the nut on to protect the threads up here. So that's the best setup to do and get one of those pressed in. Now, the next thing we're going to do, here, you want to hold it? What was that? Okay, here. You're holding the camera. And we're gonna get down here. So, right here on the carrier, you can see I have this race pressed in. We saw that in the last video. Now we're gonna make sure that we stack it. It's what this goes up here, and we also have our crush washer that's gonna go in between here, our crush sleeve. You're pointing up here. Our crush sleeve up through here. This doesn't get pressed on this, and it does a little bit, but it's by this nut. And when you saw when I took this apart, this bearing just kind of flipped off of there. Don't forget the slinger. A lot of people forget this. This is vitally important that this thing's in here. So this stays up here and makes sure that there's not too much oil that's slung up into that area. Toyota design, whatever. I'm just going to sit this down here a little bit. Right in here, before we put any of the seals in, this is part of stacking it. I just got a little bit of oil here. You can see that's pretty thick stuff. You kind of want what you're going to put in the differential, because if you put like a 20 weight oil in here and then try to press this stuff up, it'll work, but you're not going to have the same clearances as if this was operating. And that's why you want to use, you know, the oil, or close to enough the oil. Trans fluid always works good, but on this application you want something a little bit better. Now make sure everything is clean. By God, don't get dirty down in here. You want it like doctor clean, surgical clean. You just lube it up the race. You put your slinger in there, and then now we're going to be ready to go ahead and put our seal in. Now, a lot of people will take his thing and bang, 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 bang with a hammer, but it actually creates a seal up here too, up here, even if it's just a dust shield. So you have two different seals here. You got not only this one inside here, see, Dr. Clean. So you don't want to ruin this outer seal. You can try to find a big socket to get in there, to do all that, but again, that's why you keep the old stuff. If you notice here, this thing will pop out. And you'll notice here, everything matches up. So I can actually bash on this one without destroying this one and get it in there properly without having to do or buy any kind of crazy expensive tools. You just gotta be, again, use your head and a little diligent with it. So I'm gonna stack them up there, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my seal driver up this way. And you just gotta make sure it's in good. Little tap here.
Low battery.
It's starting to go in now. Got this side. You get the, and you can use the press for this too. Nothing wrong with using the press. I'm just used to hammering them in, so. But the seals you kind of want to be careful with and watch them, because the outsides are 10 and they can't take a beating. And I know it sounds like I'm beating it, but I got 2 rubber pieces here that are holding me up. And you notice the outside of that is not screwed up. All I got to do, my objective is get this sucker the rest of the way in. Oh God, my shoulder. And I'm just about there on that side. Now you got to tap a little bit more on this side. I'm going to call it good. And I'm going to say, thank God.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I've been shooting more videos today. Just trying to get a full day in. I ain't still ain't up to par on this shit. Oh, God. I'm so stupid. Alright, so now I got it in there. I got my slinger in there. I know. Hub in there, make sure you oil it. I know when my hub goes in there, when I put my hub in there, I know everything's good in there. You can see they already kind of pre-lubed it there. We're going to put a little bit more grease on there, make sure that we're good. Above me on that, we're good for now. Next video is the part where everybody gets scared. So make sure you go to the next one. And the next one's the most important one, so make sure you like that. Well, almost the most important one. That's it. Go ahead. Back up. I think it's the big X in the corner.